Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. All right, one more time. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift, on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, come on in, Sonny. You're late. Come. Grab that chair, pull it closer. As always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making us a part of your afternoon. So y'all know the drill. It's a Friday, and every Friday we call it TGIF around these parts. Thank God it's Friday, because this is an opportunity for you to get off of your chest whatever is on your mind. That's right. You're going to be my co-host for the day. When we talk about the week that was and anything else you guys want to talk about as far as what's happening in the Bahamas today. Today I'm doing something a little different. Today I have brought with me into the studio the bestest sponsor in the whole wide world. The answer, Sonny, your last is Cox, right? Yeah.
Second.
From Sunshine Auto Sales. You all know that. You all see the commercial every day on the show where the little girl says, the hottest place on the planet for rim tints and tires.
Yeah.
Well, we have the proprietor of Sunshine Auto with us. He's going to hang out with us on this TGiF Open Line show. And this is my way of saying thanks, because this show can only remain on the air if it has sponsors. And, I get a lot of people who come to me all the time. Boy, Michelle, I really enjoy your show. And I say, okay, you own a business, but I don't sponsor it. Well, you see what had happened was.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your mouth is. The show can't stay on the air if it's not sponsored, people. That's how this works. It's a business. So if you want to see GPS stay on the air, you got to do like you got to do like Sonny, and you have to support the show. Even if it's only a small sponsorship, every little bit counts. That's how we stay on the air. But I want to say a big thank you on air to Sonny, because Sonny committed to us for a whole year. And, in times like these, that's a blessing. Thank God for Sonny. So welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, well, Sunshine Auto is known for doing big things. If we're going to do it, why not do it for the length of time that you're doing it? I think that's the maximum we could do it for, right? 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you came to me, you asked about a weekly or monthly, and then I said, give me a package for a year. If I'm going to sponsor you, let's sponsor you.
Man, look, I was so grateful and continue to be grateful for that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Just for the record, I'm not the only entity that Sunny sponsors. Sunny also has been a long-term sponsor of a women's softball team that have come to start to form a dynasty here in the Bahamas. They recently won their 4th straight championship. Tell us about that.
Sunshine Auto Wildcats. You know, when I sponsored the Wildcats,
Mhm.
they were already winners, but
Okay.
I think they lost that season, and when they lost that season, they lost their sponsor,
Oh boy.
and Coach Bullet came to me and he said, "Sonny, I got something." He said, I got a group of girls that are naturally winners."
Hmm.
And I said, yeah. He said, we're looking for sponsorship. Now I just came out of basketball. I'm a winner in basketball as well.
Okay.
So the Sunshine Auto Rough Riders basketball teams are also champions.
Okay.
So we put our hands on global with Michelle, and now they are winners because one Sunshine Auto put the golden touch on
That's
you.
that.
The only thing you can do is win.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So when Bullet came to me and he said, "Sonny, I got something," I said, "What's the problem?" And he said, "We had a sponsor, and he was a good sponsor, but he can't take his losses." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm just out of basketball, and I wanted to take a break." So he said, "Sonny, I promise you, if you come with these girls, you would not be disappointed." And until now, I'm not disappointed. This is the best group of human beings on the planet when it comes to sports, the Wildcats.
All right. Good for you guys. Congratulations to all the ladies of the Wildcats. I know I can see you all as a team in church soon because every time they win, they come visit the Bible Truth Ministries.
Sunday coming. The Wildcats organization, we usually do 2 services every year.
Okay.
We come to Bible Truth Ministries to have our pastor Ellison Greenslade, pray for us
Mhm.
for the upcoming season.
Mhm.
And when we win, we come back and let him put the blessings on us. So we're going to have that blessed service on Sunday coming. The Wildcats will be at Bible Truth.
Sounds good. Looking forward to having you guys once again. Now, Sonny and I go way, 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 way back. Way back in the day. When I first met Sonny, I think you were involved with the antique car movement at the time.
Right.
Are you still involved in that?
I'm involved with it. I'm an honorary member of the antique club
Okay.
because I did my own car shows.
Right. Okay.
Yes, I did car shows in the Bahamas for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We did a Father's Day auto show and fair. It started at R. Bailey Park, and then we moved to the Town Center Mall. Town Center Mall saw it and they liked it, and they came to me and asked me what it would cost to have my auto show move on the inside of the Town Center Mall.
Okay.
So the last 4 shows we did at the Town Center Mall.
Okay.
And then my pastor came and put me on the side, and I'll tell you about that.
All right. That's the same Pastor Ellison Greenslade?
Pastor Ellison Greenslade. Show number 9.
Uh-huh.
Show number 9, Pastor Ellison Greenslade usually prays for our shows.
Okay.
And I invited him to pray as usual. And he came to the show. And before he prayed, he pulled me on the side. He said, "Sonny, these shows are getting bigger and bigger every year."
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "I hope you're making a good sum of money from these shows." Now, Pastor Ellison Greenslade is an accountant.
Very smart businessman.
Pastor.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So we sat on the side for a few minutes, and he said to me, "Sonny, that's nickels and dimes compared to the caliber of show
Right.
that you're doing for the Bahamian people." He said, "You can't continue to do this." And he said, "We can sit down and talk."
Mm-hmm.
And when we sat down and talked, I felt mixed feelings. I felt good and bad after the conversation because he was looking out for the interests of Sunshine Auto Sales.
Right.
I was looking out for the interest of the show because the show brought some hype to this country this country has never seen hype shows like the shows that we put on
Right.
in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was done, he told me, you will eventually die. Your company will eventually die if you continue to do these shows.
Mm.
Because what happened was when he asked me the numbers, and I told him, we do about $50,000 a show.
Wow.
And at that point, we had already done our 9th show. And after that conversation,
You realize.
I realized that
Wow.
Sunshine Auto is not getting back, not even a small portion
What you're putting out.
of what we put in the shows.
Right.
So we agreed that the next show would be the last one.
Okay.
And on the 10th show, we wear black t-shirts. We always wear gold.
Right.
On the very next show, we wore black t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last show and the beginning of a new era
Mm-hmm.
at Sunshine Auto.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunshine Auto has been growing from leaps and bounds. Thanks for the vision of Pastor Greenslade.
I got to big up Pastor Greenslade because a lot of people have this view of church and pastors that pastors only in it for the money. And I have to tell you, the church does not pay him a salary. Not only that, but the church is debt-free. He always talks about that, completely debt-free. The church has started, I don't know what you'd call it, like where it encourages its members to participate in savings, like a savings fund. And what you do is you go in and you say, this is my goal. I want to build a house, or I want to put my kids through college or whatever. And they start this, where you contribute, and it's put into what you call it?
A savings plan.
A savings plan, right. And so at the end of the day, when you're ready to achieve that goal, your money is there, plus the money that has accumulated through interest, etc. And you have now the funds that you need to fulfill that goal. And like he always says, this ain't no ATM, so don't come to me talking about you want to go on vacation.
Make sure your foot bleeding, your foot break,
okay.
your eye out.
This ain't no ATM. So you say you want to save towards a house, we can help you get that house.
The beauty about that is our church, and I love my church. Most churches that you go to that you're a part of, they have cookouts and steakouts and
you got to pay for everything,
cooking sale and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Everything you get from Bible Truth Ministry is free.
Free.
You have if you have a stakeout, if you decide you want to have a stakeout, you're gonna make sure you have enough to feed Bible Truth for free.
Yeah.
There's no charge for anything on the property.
He doesn't even charge. Yeah, he doesn't even charge. Like if somebody comes to him, call, I know you, they'll be coming to you right now. Somebody comes to him and says, I want to hold a funeral at your church. He won't charge them for it. I guess I shouldn't say that on there because everybody started calling him now. Sorry, Pastor. But no, but like you said, he was an accountant before he became a pastor. And he brings that wisdom and knowledge.
Yes.
And not just for the church, but he makes sure that his members understand how it is that, you can better your life. So I really appreciate Pastor Greenslade and all of the insight and wisdom that he brings, and discipline and on top of that, he's a very generous person, very loving, open, generous heart, and that has trickled down to the membership of that church to the point where you can feel it when you walk through the doors. That's what won me over.
Yes,
because I did 30 years or so in BFM. But after I moved back home from Bimini, I found myself at Bible Truth, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes. I'll tell you what, Pastor Greenslade and I go way, way back. We have a special kind of relationship.
Well, all us feel like
we have a special,
even though it ain't been that long for me.
Yes. We played basketball together in the milk crate.
Okay.
On the lamp pole in the road. Pastor
That's way back in the day. Wow.
So we have a special kind of relationship.
All right.
From way we kind of, he was a little bit older than I was, but when you're on the basketball court, there's no age there.
I hear that. But now, Sonny, you knew around these parts. Every Friday, this is an open line show so people can call and talk about whatever they want to talk about. So we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Madam.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Not too good.
What happened?
You attacked me, but I pray.
How I attack you?
And left the Bible said, "This is the day that the Lord has made, and I want you to finish it."
Man, what y'all call it taco, I don't call it taco. We could agree to disagree, you know.
I agree, and guess what? I have to be very. This may be my last time calling your show for
Why?
a while.
Why?
For the year, I have to be very, very careful
Mhm.
calling your show now,
Why?
because I was accused, and I was told don't slip, because I normally said I love you like a sister.
Uh-huh.
And a client came in. I listened to him last week. He tell the truth. A client came in. I've been running my own enterprise for more than 40 something years. So God has been good to me. Hey,
Yes, sir.
you see why I have a problem with sucking up to some pastors and politicians? Because God has been too good to me.
Uh-huh.
My own for more than 40 something years, raised two beautiful girls I love. And now I'm raising grand. I love, so I don't have to suck up or kiss up the politicians nor pastors,
Mhm.
because I prove that God is good.
Right.
And not sometimes, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When they dig up the road, God was still good. And I still survive. So I have to say, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. And Papa, I could say that, Papa can say that also. But this client tell me, be careful when I call and say, madam, don't slip the love. Because I normally said, I love you like a sister. And he said, he had honestly said, he love you like a wife. So he will be calling in after me. But he's a good client, very good client. He's a little bit miserable, but I know how to deal with him.
I hear that.
But listen to me.
Uh-huh.
A young man that I've been serving from he was a baby. And he's 31 years old now.
Mhm.
Been off to university. He's come back. He's listening in.
Okay.
And I want to congratulate him. He have a head on his body. He's doing well. And he's a Christian.
Okay.
And I often call, and I normally use Proverbs 31 and 10. Proverbs 31 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And on the show Tuesday, he listened. And he came in Wednesday. He was very disappointed in Pastor Cedric Moss in terms of how he dodged and ducked that particular scripture. And I said, you know, we have to meet people where they are. Like you said a moment ago, we could disagree to agree. And as the young man alluded to, Pastor Greenslade, I've never met him. Maybe I know him, and but I need to put a face to him, because I've been in this thing long enough, and I know a lot of people. I've heard very, very good report on Pastor Greenslade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe I am biased, trying to replace Pastor Miles Monroe. Maybe I am biased, trying to replace Duke Smith. Maybe I am biased, trying to place my two uncles, Reverend Solomon McKenzie and Reverend A. McKenzie. Maybe I am biased. Maybe I'm too old now. But I am of the view with the young man that a lot of pastors are becoming very liberal in terms of interpreting the scripture. Holly was very good. Holly was good, biblically and also legally. But the young man said to me, he said, we are losing young men to the hands of crime. We are losing the young man to the hands of homicide. And he asked me a question. He said, I would like to be married and raise a family. And the question that he asked, are we losing the Proverbs 31 and 10, sisters? In your view, you think we're losing the Proverbs 31 and 10, sisters?
I am going to answer that the same way I said the other day on my show.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have men who like to talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, but they don't realize that the Proverbs 31 woman had a really good man. Her husband provided for her in such a way that she could have, as she chose to do, become a businesswoman and everything else that the Proverbs 31 passage talks about. See, in this day and age, we got men who want the Proverbs 31 woman, But they ain't being the husband to that Proverbs 31 woman that woman had. So you can't tell me as a woman that I got to go out and work just as hard as you every day because you can't bring home all the bacon that we need by yourself. That's just the reality of the world we live in today. With inflation and everything else that's going on, it is very difficult on men, unless you making a ton of money, for you to bring home enough to support your family. So she has to go out there and work. She out there working just as hard or harder than you out there working. The two of you all working together to try to fulfill this vision you have for your family. You come home tired, she come home tired. But you as the alpha male, like you always like to call yourself, expecting her now to go in the kitchen, prepare you a hot meal. Mind you, the Proverbs 31 woman could afford to have a hot meal on the man table and he come home because, he had it like that. But today, she out there working, you working. You come home, you want a hot meal. She want a hot meal, but because she was born with a vagina, that's her job. So now she got to go in the kitchen. You don't even want to help cut up some potato. She got to go in this kitchen. She got to prepare the meal because that's her job as a woman. She got to take care of the children because that's her job as a woman. Then after all of that, you want to take care of you in the bed because that's her duty as a woman. Well, what is your duty? You want this Proverbs 31 woman, but you ain't being the man to her. That the Proverbs 31 woman in the Bible was to his wife. Something gotta give. Because last time I checked, as much as women try to have and do everything, we ain't super women. And those who try to be end up burning themselves out because they trying to take care of everybody else except themselves in many instances. And some instances, some of them selfish and taking care of themselves and they ain't taking care of nobody else. But the point is, you can't say to me that, we losing the Proverbs 31 woman and you ain't saying nothing to the fellas about their shortcomings. This is where me and you just fall out.
Teamwork
Now,
makes
can
the
I
dream
respond?
work, eh?
Yeah, respond. You respond, and I can hear what my sponsor got to say.
Okay, let me respond. I am totally in agreement with you. Let me just say this. Like I said, God has been good to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been running my own business for more than 40-something years. And let me just say this. You know and I know the economy is not like what it used to be in the 80s.
It is not. You're right.
Anybody who have business or no business, but like I said, I thank God for the structure that I come from.
Mm-hmm.
My family, they always were entrepreneur, and it came off of me. I cannot wait for no one else because I'm an alpha male. And I still make a suitable salary.
Okay.
I make a suitable salary. I can still. But I don't understand. I'm in agreement with you now. How our men is not preparing themselves to take on a wife. I just can't comprehend that. But I'm in agreement with you because you do the maths. You do the maths. We can do the maths and we can average. I have clients who are really in the field on the profession of many things, and I get my information from them in terms of who fraud, etc., etc., etc. But I would agree. We have a bunch of men living a lie, and they have to compromise themselves. And this is where I come up with the feminine man. Trade back in the days was the order of the day when you was not academically inclined. Would you agree with that?
Say it again.
Trade, having a trade.
Yes.
And when a man, you go in the book now, go right back to Proverbs. Proverbs 18 and 16 said, one gift will make room for him and will bring him before a great man.
Right.
And I thank God for my parent who instill and see my gift and cultivate. And this is now what I am doing to my grandchildren. My two daughters, they have wings now. They can fly.
Okay.
But we need to go back to the traditional values. We need to go back because, like you said, it just ain't gonna work. Listen to me, sister, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I love to dress up. I love to dress. I love to dress, and I love my church. But to clean a one suit now is more than $20-something to get clean.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when suit was $7 to clean.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the maths. Inflation right now in the food store. And I sometimes wonder, how could this brother Flam making $500 a week? How could he just flam me? Because the maths is there. And I am saying again, the economy is not like it used to be.
Right.
And you can do the maths. So our brothers, yes, I agree. We need to, well, I'm old now. But our brothers need to get it together. Pull up our socks and whatever. But I'm still saying, who born these boys? Who mentor these boys? Who go on the radio and say, my son is only a thief, but he was not a robber. I heard that in my ear, Who have these boys in the bed until 12 o'clock in the day? My electricity was off when I come to work this morning. My electricity was off from 8 o'clock. And I still here until it come on. I can't be wandering all over the street. Now I have to work extra tonight. But who born these boys? Who cloak these boys? Who have them in the bed until 12 o'clock, and when they wake up, Mommy, I want something to eat. That's where I have the problem with.
So my question to you is, where's Daddy in that picture?
This is it.
See,
that is it.
We quick to put...
where is the daddy? Why did you make those bad choices? How did you end up at 4 and 5? How did that happen?
Every time you bring that up, and I'm not disagreeing with you, some women have made some very foolish choices to have a bunch
I can't
of
get it.
But every time you bring that up, I ask you the question: did those children come into this world without sperm? You are always quick to say the woman, oh, that's abuse. She having these bunch of children for all these. Where are the men in this equation?
Listen to me.
She ain't had them by herself.
Everything is by choice. Madam Malcolm, you are single is by choice. When I decide to take on a family, I always thought it was wrong to have children all over. I have 2 girls and they were in marriage. We have to pay the price for the bad choice we make.
I agree.
And these monsters, one of my client the other day, when I heard about this business lady, been in business now from, I think, before me, when they went and robbed a place and kick an old man in the business establishment.
Check how many of these boys who are here robbing and terrorizing this place grew up without a father.
But our sisters still want the sugar daddy. These boys are not qualified to make $500 a week. This is where the problem is. They are not qualified to get a job. Mothers have them in the house laying in the bed. They want this thing, and they ain't qualified. They didn't have a trade. They ain't qualified. They've never been mentored. This is social. This is a dilemma.
I agree.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for calling. All I'm saying is, I agree with what you said. I'm just saying, don't put all the blame of that at the feet of the women, because men have to step up. Call I coming to you right now. Men have to step up and mentor other men if necessary. Some boys grew up without a father, but you could mentor that boy. True. But don't put all the blame at the feet of the women. I know some time ago when I was, we were actively doing the Miss Bahamas pageant, and we were on the air talking about, this program that we had going on in terms of developing the young women through the pageant system. And so this man calls the station we were on that day. You're Ron, you're talking about developing women. What about the men? I say, you see, sir, that's part of the problem right now, because you calling me a woman, asking me a woman what I can do to mentor men. You are a man. What are you doing to mentor men? Because a part of the problem we have in this country is 70% of our households are led by women. I used to say to my mother all the time, You cannot teach your son how to be a man, because no matter what you do, you are coming from a female perspective. You could teach him to be a good human being, but you don't know what it is to be a man. So how you could teach him what you don't know? So when you decide to get down on the women, don't forget to get down on your brothers who dropping seed all over the place and they ain't looking back to try to help raise these boys. That's what me and you is follow caller for every time. But I got another call on here. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day and God bless you, Michelle. How you doing?
JT, what you said?
Hey, a little sad today.
What happened, man?
I'm going to actually touch on it. I wasn't going to call your show, but Brother P, something he said triggered me to call. I was just going to sit and listen today.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say that as a fellow Bahamian, I do highly respect Brother P. He and I normally, 99% of the time, we agree. So I just wanted to mention that, that I highly respect him as a Bahamian.
Right.
And as a man who's trying to do the best that he can.
Mm-hmm.
I've had two experiences recently in regards to talking with females, excuse me. And I want to share them basically what it is and to let you know why I'm sad today. But before I do, Michelle, when God created us human beings, he made Adam first, the male, and God gave Adam the responsibility over everything. God told Adam not to touch the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Right.
Eve wasn't created then. Man and only man, the male, was created. But my point is, God gave us men, the males, the ultimate responsibility.
The instruction came to you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So however things succeed or fail on this planet, us men humanly are ultimately responsible.
My brother, say that again. Say that again.
Yeah. However things succeed or fail on this planet, we males are ultimately, in the human context, responsible for it.
Here's the thing, JT. What people don't seem to realize in the story of the fall. When Eve took a bite of that fruit, what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not an amen thing happened.
Nothing.
Yep.
Wasn't no chaos. Nothing.
Nothing.
Because the instruction wasn't given to her.
Exactly.
But the minute the man took a bite of the fruit, all hell broke loose.
Hey, literally. The devil had a field day from then until now.
Okay then.
Adam was the law, and the law was.
Okay.
And then of course, Adam turned around and of course he blames.
Yeah, the blame game been going on since then. It's her fault. This is who you give me. He only blame me. He blame God for giving it to you.
I only laugh because I'm thinking about Brother P when I said that. So,
He was God.
He says, this is who you give me.
He was God and say, this one.
Yeah, Brother P, us men are responsible for the problems, and us men are to blame, my brother. Not the women, but at the end of the day, God will hold us all responsible individually for what we do or do not do.
Absolutely.
Which brings me to my point. Michelle, the reason I'm a bit sad today, I will just make a general reference. I've had occasion in the past week, 2 weeks, to talk with two females, both of whom are married. And you know what the basic concern with each of them, from different points of view, but the basic concern is they are not being understood by their husbands.
Okay.
And a lot of men, and in one of those instances, I know that the man means well. I can see that he's done his best and trying his best to do all he can to be a good husband. But at the end of the day, when a woman needs a man to to deal with her equally as his spouse and not a child, but he deals with his wife as a child and not his wife, problems arise.
Mm.
When a woman will not hear from or does not hear from her husband, the love language in words, honey, I love you, you're doing well, or whatever the case may be, women tend to get down and discouraged. Because, Michelle, at the end of the day, as you know, you being a woman, God made you women to be more emotional than us men. And he made us men to be more, I suppose, mentally, for the lack of a better term, mentally strong. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a difference between men and women.
I don't
the
know
way
if
God
I
made
don't know
us.
if I would use the term mentally strong.
No, I
term that
can't find a better term.
The term that I often hear is logical.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I accept that
I
because I
wouldn't
was
say
trying to
mentally
find
strong because some of the things that women have to go through or women go through,
Yeah.
y'all men will be walking down the street counting lampoon.
Yeah, only
Y'all
because
can't take it.
only because us men were the ones who unfortunately picked who ate the fruit.
Exactly.
We shouldn't eat the fruit. Every strength that God gave the male was diluted and polluted the moment Adam ate that fruit. Us men were degenerating from that time until now, both in terms of gender and in respect to a species. Humanity was, I don't know. Michelle, you know, Brother P made reference to how young men or how Bahamian male over the last number of years are being brought up. And you know, while I was growing up, and I would hear every now and then mothers say to their sons, go and marry a good woman. And that was good. But that same son that the mother would want to marry a good woman, she wasn't allowing him or developing him in many instances to be a good man.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
That is unfortunately why we have the imbalance in this country today.
This is true.
Where a lot of Bahamian females don't even want check for being involved with a Bahamian man, less more marrying him. A lot of Bahamian males, females, rightly or wrongly, are getting involved with men of different nationalities. But I cannot blame, at face value, I cannot blame the Bahamian female for looking at men of different nationalities if they are finding, in many instances, bad experiences with the Bahamian men. And me speaking as a Bahamian male, that saddens me, Michelle. Because it says to me, and stereotyping people, calling everybody the same thing when it's only some of that group. That's stereotyping.
Mm-hmm.
And when that stereotyping goes on, Michelle, it hurts me as a male because respectfully and humbly, I am not one of those bad apples. I have my faults, of course. But I don't abuse. I don't cheat. I've never cheated on a woman in my life.
Right.
But a lot of men get blamed, or so many men get blamed who are good for the men who are bad. And I know it's just usually a knee jerk when women say all men are bad, or ain't no good man around this place. I know that's just a knee jerk emotional reaction because they're hurting. But at the end of the day, still not all men are bad. You have a lot of good men in this country. And that leads me to an apology that I made about, 5-6 weeks ago on your show.
Mm-hmm.
Apologizing to the women out there who are hurting by men who would have neglected them, rejected them, or abused them. And a male called in, of course, he made light of that, but, that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, I think, Michelle, if more of my fellow men would truly, honestly look within themselves and understand that being macho is not what a woman needs, being imbalanced or being unfair or being unreasonable is not what a woman needs, but a woman needs what Jesus says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church.
Mm-hmm.
if a lot of us men, Christian and non-Christian, could really get a hold of that and really understand what love truly is, I think a lot of us men would pull up our bootstraps. But when men of today don't have men of yesterday to mentor them, to encourage them, to show them the right and the proper examples, sadly, you're going to have what we're having, Michelle. A lot of these young men today have no clue as to what a male of value is.
They've never had an experience.
Never, exactly. Never had the example.
Examples set for them, yeah.
Never had it.
Mm-hmm.
So while I fault everybody for their individual behavior, it is hard for me to fault men and or women today who are living simply by that which they only know.
True.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, Michelle, somebody somewhere has to get up and show someone the right way. And the millennial mindset today is what it is. But so many of that always tires my tongue, I don't know why, of the young people of today are so I wouldn't say unbalanced, but they are so off base. Respectfully, I say that, but they are so off base as far as traditional values are concerned that they seem to throw out the baby with the bath water. Anything that their parents had values for or with, they seem to reject because they say that's from yesteryear, or that's from way back when, or that's in mommy and Grammy days. But Michelle, respecting yourself is timeless. It's not a matter of era or generational tradition. It's obeying the law is still a rule that goes above and beyond all generations.
Right.
Respecting your elders, respecting officers of the law, etc. These things are from the time when Adam was created until the time God will judge this world. Those values are going to exist. Whether we acknowledge them is a different story.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll end on saying this, Michelle. Oh boy, I really hope, with all due respect to my fellow males out there who are listening, my brothers, please, man. A lot of the women in our lives want to hear us say and to see us do by our actions is to show them that we love them by doing the right thing, and to say to them every now and then, honey, darling, sweetie, I love you. Whether that's your mother, whether that's your daughter, whether that's your wife. I think every male in this country, we can say to one woman each day, and I say this all the time to my daughter. I say to my daughter, sweetie, I love you. Unconditionally, no matter what, I love you. My daughter knows it. And every time my daughter and I are together, we have a wonderful time because we are comfortable and relax in each other's presence. No hang-ups. Because my daughter knows at the end of the day that her daddy will tell her when she's wrong, but her daddy will also tell her when she's right. But regardless, she knows that her daddy unconditionally loves her. Thank you, Michelle, for your time.
Thanks for calling, JT. Let me just say this, and then I'm going to ask my sponsor to chime in, then we're going to take a break. Love is an action word. It's not enough to say I love you, but your actions don't match your words. Let me feel that you love me from your actions, not just your words. Sonny, what are your thoughts on all of that has been expressed?
All of that has been expressed with the first and second caller.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on now in this country and the world is a diluting of principles, standards, and morals.
Mm.
I believe that the mothers of today are much different from the mothers of yesterday.
For sure.
And their parents, it keeps declining.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that declination, it shows up in the young men and young women.
Mm-hmm.
it's not only young men that are not young women that are looking for foreign men. The young ladies are also, the young ladies and the young men are looking for foreigners.
Really?
It's not only the young men that are looking for foreigners.
Right.
And sometimes we are of the impression that foreign is better, but there's no guarantee. Because if I grow up in the Baptist system,
Mm-hmm.
and I meet a beautiful woman who knows nothing about Jesus and God, and I marry her because she has nice looking skin and straight hair, and the children are gonna look a certain way, we would come to realize that beauty is only skin deep.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get to know her and she get to know you is a challenge. I have several different suppliers of different race.
Right.
And there's an African supplier that supplies me with tires. And he moved here to Nassau to do tires.
Mm-hmm.
He brought his wife here to Nassau. And he says to me, in Africa, he would drive the car to work. And if he's busy that he can't leave work, his wife will walk and bring him lunch to work and walk back home. They both came to Nassau. And within 3 years, she wants nothing to do with him. So sometimes it's a culture.
Mm.
In Africa, that was fine. And he had all the love and all the respect. And when he came home, everything was prepared and ready for him.
Right.
But he saw it change, and change for the worse. Suddenly, when she moved here to the Bahamas,
She was exposed to more.
she got Bahamian friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bahamian friends, I believe.
Tell a girl what?
You crazy? We don't do that here. And I think she fall in the trap.
Wow.
You know, so it's a sad day in our country, and I won't blame the mothers, but I will blame the parents.
Mm.
With my mother and father, I come from a family of 11 children.
Wow.
10 of them married and still married.
They ain't have no TV yet.
They have TV and everything else.
I talk about your parents.
Listen, my parents
11 children?
together. My mom and dad had 11 children together, right?
Uh-huh.
6 with my mom, and he has some other children on the outside.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But the principles that were instilled in the children, left, right, and center, you hear people talk about we divorced or we're not together, or I'm living here and she's living there.
Mm-hmm.
But I thank God for the way my mom is still alive, and I believe she's listening. She did an excellent job with all of her children.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And my father, I think he did an okay job, because all of them are still married. Very rare you can find any household of that amount that is still with their husbands and wives. So it's not the country. It's an individual thing. Every household needs to take care of their household.
Mm-hmm.
And if our parents would do what needs to be done to take care of our children, then we would rear good husbands and good wives for other families. But instead of raising our children in the way they should go or grow, some of the mothers would say to the daughter, if he ain't got nothing, don't bring him here.
Mm.
You ain't gonna date no man who ain't got no car and he ain't got no house. My parents were different. They wanted, if you meet a man and he respect and he love you, y'all can get a house together.
Build it together. Right.
And I believe that's the reason why my siblings, all of them are still with their husbands and wives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an individual thing. And if I believe the parents of today, mothers and fathers. And if the mother is in the home by herself, some mothers are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
All of them are not bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your daughters. Encourage your sons. Find a mentor for your boy. And I believe we'll have a better place.
All right. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to take a break. And then on the other side of the break, we are going to look at some of the stories that took place this past week. Can you believe the first half of the show already gone? It's 2:55. Wow.
Ready?
Yeah, already. Goes fast. All right, let's take this break. When we come back, we're going to continue with our TGiF Open Line show where we look at the week that was. Remember, guys, you are my co-host. So the numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for text messages only. 8010271. 8010271. I'll see you guys on the other side of the break.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Last is love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, along with my sponsor and friend extraordinaire, Sonny Cox, Deonta Sonny Cox, from the second from Sunshine Auto and Car Sales. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. 8010271 is the text line only via WhatsApp. 8010271. So during the break, Sonny, you got very passionate about something that JT said, and he didn't know that he could jump in at that time. You know, he knew Ron here. He's a sponsor, but he knew on the set. So I tell him, I said, man,
JT,
you could jump in, man.
He's still listening.
So go ahead and say what you were saying during the break, Sonny.
Well, my concern is JT is sad today, and I wish that JT would cheer up.
Mm-hmm.
And JT, if you're listening, I've never read in scripture where men are supposed to understand their wives. And there are men in the Bible that comes up all the time. Samson, Solomon, Adam. That's the first, the strongest, and the wisest. None of them was able or were capable to understand the ways of a woman. So your friends or callers who said to you that they're having problems, I believe they will always have problems. And every man who tries to understand his wife or significant other will have problems. We're in the Bahamas. The average is a D, right, Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
We run a D average country. I'm a D average student myself. And as D as I am, I know trying to understand a woman don't make sense to me. To me, it don't make sense to me. And I've never read it in scripture where we should understand a woman. We have directives. Men should love their wives and provide for their wives, not understand your wife. If you go around trying to understand your wife or significant other, that's the beginning of trouble for you, and your trouble just may never end.
Just for the record, we don't understand your leader. We gotta call
Michelle,
on the line.
it's not your duty to understand.
I understand
a man.
the point. I get the point.
Okay, your duty is to honor and respect men,
So
not understand.
JT calling you back now. JT, what you saying?
First of all, let me sincerely apologize to you, Sonny, for not having acknowledged you when I called in the first time. I meant to do that and I plumb forgot because I'm so I got right into why I was sad. So my apologies. But let me ask you this question, Sonny. In respect to the comment you made a while ago about there's nowhere in the Bible where men are supposed to understand their wives. Now, let me make it clear. I'm not married.
JT, it may be there. I've never read it.
Okay,
my pastor never spoke to it.
That's
but
a fair point. I'm glad you made that clear. Yes, because while I've never seen where God says, "Husbands, understand your wives," if I understand the scripture when the Bible says, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loves the church and gave Himself for it." To me, sir, in order for a man to really and truly love his wife, while he may not be able to understand every fine point about her, he's going to be able to have to understand who she is, how she functions, what she likes, what she doesn't like, etc., etc., etc. Same goes with the wife in respect to her husband. I dare say that there's going to have to be a level of practical understanding emotional understanding, intellectual understanding, and spiritual understanding by both parties in any type of a relationship, whether it is out of marriage or inside of marriage, in order for that marriage, in my opinion, to be healthy. I mean, I've never been married, but I've been in relationships before. So I'm speaking in respect to healthy relationships from experience. I've had them unhealthy, I've had them healthy. And I think when people can sit down with one another in any type of a relationship, respect each other's views, first of all, respect each other's right to have to express their point of view, and do it in a respectful way, Sonny, I honestly believe you would find understanding blossoming.
I love the word respect.
Yes, that's key.
And that's powerful.
Yes,
respect and understand is two different words.
True enough.
You can love somebody and respect them, and I believe it can work. But trying to understand may be just difficult. We're ever changing, JD.
Well,
you're ever changing. Your wife ever changing.
Yeah.
So
I'm not married, by the way. I'm not married.
Okay, JD, I'm not married either. So I believe we need to invite somebody that's married into this conversation. JD, you're not married. I'm not married.
And I say where you put me.
Michelle ain't married either. So wait, we all in the same club there. But Sonny, let me just point this out to you. And I made reference to it the other day on my show. Jesus Christ himself, humanly speaking, was not married. But he is the authority on marriage. Why? Because he is God.
Because
he was God incarnate in human flesh. So he would know everything because he knows everything. My point is, you and I and Michelle are all single people, so we can't speak from experience. True. But we can speak from the knowledge of God's word. We can speak from what we have seen, good and bad, from other people's experiences. We can even speak to an extent from what we all would have experienced when we would have been dating, because my attitude in respect to dating or courtship is the same way a person behaves before they're married is quite likely the same way they're going to behave when they are married. I've seen it.
JD, you're talking from a place where you should not be talking from.
Clarify that for me.
What do you mean by that? You're not married. So you believe, I can hear you saying you believe, but you can't know, because a person that's married would have to say to you, JD, she is the same woman that I met 10 years later.
Well, I suppose
you can't speak to that, JT.
Michelle, can you speak to that? The man is the same man that you met 10 years ago?
Michelle can't speak to that either.
No, she can't. But Sonny, my point is, while I did admit, I said a while ago, I am not married, right? I am not, never have been. But my point is, sir, having been in relationships all over the years and understanding the principle of what you practice, you become.
True.
It's upon that basis, sir, that I have seen it happen, and I therefore can now say that more than likely, not in every instance, but more than likely, the way people behave out of marriage is usually the way they behave in marriage.
JD,
you know,
JD, question.
Yes, sir.
I believe you know enough married men. And if you do a survey and ask, let's say 7.
10 out of 10?
7 married men that you know and you believe are happily married.
Right.
Most of them would say to you, I believe most of them would say to you, that's a different woman that walked down the aisle for me.
Yes, I've heard people say that.
Okay.
I've heard people say that.
How many people have said to you, JD, that the woman that I met in the food store and married is the same woman 10 years later?
But Brother Sonny,
listen,
I've heard women say the same thing, that the men that they married change. A lot of women.
Thing, gentlemen, here's the thing. I gotta let you cut this now because we have another caller waiting. But here's the thing. if you are not evolving as a human being, if you're the same person 10 years later than you were 10 years before, that's called arrested development. Okay, but we got to cut this short because I don't want to lose this next caller.
Yes,
all right?
All right, thank you for your time, Michelle.
Thanks a lot. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Michelle, and good afternoon, JGiF.
Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Good. I was going to do the same thing. JT was just listening, but I had to call in on and get in on this topic. I wanted to ask the gentleman, but he already answered the question if he was married. And but he already answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from a place of being married for many 10 years, right? Still with my husband. The thing is, when you say about a man does not have to understand his wife or vice versa, I take it. Why do you feel like, where did you get that, to say that with such authority? Why do you feel that way? That a man does not have to understand, it's not in the Bible. I guess you're going to say, because it's not in the Bible?
I don't believe it's possible. I don't believe it's possible for a man to truly understand his wife.
No, he doesn't have. Maybe he doesn't have to understand, and it'll be unrealistic, I think, to say that he has to 100% understand his wife. Because if, most of the time, a lot of times, I should say, in a lot of cases, individuals don't even understand themselves.
Exactly.
Okay? But you have to, I think it's important, I think it's imperative that you have to learn. You have to understand or get to understand, I think, in time, and you grow, right? To understand, you have to understand her likes. And like I say, vice versa. You understand each other's likes. You must understand each other's needs, wants, desires. You understand? You have to understand. You have to have some sort of understanding in a relationship, in a marriage, in order for that to be a success. In order for that because, okay, you have children most of the time. You have children, you have children as a couple, right? You have to be on one accord. You have to have an understanding between the both of you in order to raise these children right. The Bible says things, and we have to follow the Bible. That is the guide, our guide, right?
I'm happy you went.
But the thing is, we have to, and you always hear this term, and I don't know how you all feel about interpreting the Bible. We have their words that go on, it's written, but we have to have the common sense to understand and to interpret the words in the Bible. And this is why it's so important, I think, to have a relationship and be involved with your pastor, or you understand, and someone
definitely
who can actually guide you. Because it may not say you have to, man, understand your wife or woman, understand your husband. But that's a given. It's a given. My husband, and it took, over the years to understand me. And a lot of times people is going around, he would say, Jesus, this ain't the girl that I married. Because when I got married, I was 22 years old. Okay? The person that when I got married and that I am today, I've grown. We grow. He is not the same person. You understand?
Nobody remains the same.
No one remains the same. So there has to be a level of understanding. And the thing is of your spouse, of your partner. And this is why I think why a lot of churches, a lot of people, they this just go and just do this eloping and just getting married on the spur of the moment. It's sometimes it's not a good thing. This preparation, you have to really get some level of understanding. So I'm not going to argue with you with that because you're strong and firm with that because of the Bible. But we have to be able to interpret and understand. We continue to read and understand and interpret what those words in that Bible means. But we have to, as far as I'm concerned, go. Me getting to know him and to understand his wants, his likes, his needs. It played a vital role and us being married for 40 going on 41 years.
All right. Thank you so much,
So
Carla.
thank you, and have a good and safe weekend, you all.
I believe your interpretation of understanding and respect, that's where we differ. I believe respect plays a major role in any relationship, whether it be husband, wife, friends, whatever it is. And if we respect each other and respect each other's wishes, the relationship can last and relationship will last. But if we just trying to understand, I think that's where the problem comes in.
All right. We have I want to read a Facebook comment, and then we're going to go to our next caller. Zenobia says, the word says to dwell with them according to knowledge. So there is some level of knowledge / understanding involved in human relationships. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I was listening to the idea of the understanding, I think it was JT who alluded to the fact that the scripture has it that to love your wife has the understanding, the idea of the understanding of a woman or understanding your wife. The Bible isn't asking or causing us to think we should understand our wife. The Bible makes it explicitly clear that and the difference is the man who decides to be godly versus just trying to be a man. A godly husband versus a husband. There's a difference. The Bible to the godly husband dictates the mere fact of your joining together. It is so important that you understand your wife. The Bible puts it this way. He says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his wife, and the two shall become one. Their thinking, their every aspect is the desire of a oneness. A complete understanding of your wife is dictated by Scripture according to the Word of God. So there is the need, not for a need to, but there is a must in the case of a godly man to understand his wife. What we say sometimes in trying to understand your wife, we put it even further than just simply understanding, because the Bible dictates that you do. We say, study your wife, so you will truly, fully understand her to become that which God has dictated, the oneness that is only achieved when there is a full understanding. So there is a clear indication from Scripture beyond any normal interpretation that we understand our wives. It's a must.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. Okay. This turned into a relationship show today.
Open Line Friday.
Are you serious? Very interesting indeed. Okay. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271, and that is for WhatsApp text messages only. So today is TGiF Open Line show where we talk about the week that was. It's already 3:18 and we ain't started the week that was yet, but it is what it is.
It is
because
what it is.
You guys are my co-host, and so we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So if this is the direction y'all taking the show today, well, so be it. This is where we go. Y'all leading me today. But I always prepare for us to talk about the week that was. But we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Madam Michelle.
Uh-huh.
Brother Sonny.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Abundantly blessed, sir.
Man, listen. You don't know who this is, but I used to be a client of mine. You need to bring me back some more money, man.
Money coming. The bishop say money coming.
You know, being a business person, the struggle, eh?
The struggle is real, and God is also real.
Boy, listen to me. Brother Sonny, this is where the subject matter come on. With Madam Michelle, I have to agree with her, preparing our young man. Because, like Madam Pat, I am of the belief that woman, David's wife, my friend's wife, that's a Proverbs 31:10 woman. You hear how long she's been married? 41 years. 41 years at the age of 22. She stated that a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Proverbs 31 and 10 woman. See, the problem, Brother Sonny, you have a business and I have business.
Yes, sir.
And the majority of these young men, I said, why did you do that? Why did you rob? Why did you steal? Because they're not academically inclined. They don't have a trade. And getting to Tingsy woman, go right back. Tingsy, me and Brother Sonny now too old. We too old now. These Tingsy woman.
Speak for yourself, Sonny, forever young.
Okay, Brother Sonny. These Tingsy women put pressure on these young boys. Christmas coming. I call on all businessmen to be vigilant. They want to take what you have. I am still saying the average man who don't have a trade, who is not academically inclined, he only could barely make under $500 a week. And these sisters still want to live in La La Land and want things.
The sisters want things, and that's okay.
It's nothing wrong with the things.
Every girl you meet is not your wife. And if you meet the one that want things, keep moving.
Well, this is what the both of them need to know. This is why we need to mentor them. Because if that relationship built on things, we can continue to have this social dilemma. Because these young boys can find a way to you know, and I could say it. I've been shot. I am a miracle. I've been shot in a robbery. My friend is dead. By an unstructured, anyway, I get emotional when my friend is in the grave by an unstructured young man. So I know what I'm talking. I get so emotional when I hear these mothers, but my son this and my son that. Oh, he just a thief, he was in a robbery. I am scarred on my stomach. Because of these things, these women have to rob me.
We can't blame the women. I have a problem with
us
blaming
the women. I get emotional. Every time I catch a bath, I look at a sanity on my stomach.
I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry
and
that
my
happened
friend
to
is
you.
Dead.
But we can't go around blaming the women.
But I am telling you, Brother Sonny, we have to find a way. I have to agree with Madam Michelle. We have to find a way to mentor our young boys because they stop living a lie. If you're not qualified, you're barely making over $500 a week.
I got a question for
you. You agree with that, right?
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You married?
Yes.
Okay.
I was married.
You was married?
Yes.
Okay. While you were married and in love with your wife.
Say it again.
While you were married and in love with your wife.
Go ahead.
And your wife came to you and say, baby, I need $3,000.
Right.
You only have $1,500. Would you go out and pull a gun on somebody for the other $1,500?
I will not do that because I was structured to learn to do without. But back in the days, I could have done that.
No, we ain't talking about you doing without. You're saying the women are responsible for the young men going out there and robbing.
Well, listen to me. Brother Sonny, where I'm at, I deal with young men. I often do my little mentorship in here. I have a program going right now, and I tell all the young men. I have 5 already. Bring me a GPA. I don't like to talk things like this, but this is what I do. Above 3 point and above. The rest on me. You just bring it up. Just bring me that. I'm looking Christmas to see 5 of them. Bring me a GPA up above 3 point and above, and the rest on me.
Well, that's very good, and I respect that.
I didn't call to just blow my horn. I am doing my little shares. Just 3 point and above, and the rest on me.
And that's very good. But let me say
something
to you.
And I'm asking all business persons, just do that little small 3 point and above, and give a little. You know, I don't like to talk what but because I do it to my grandboys.
Very good, very good. Let me say something. What you're doing is very good.
No,
but I'd say to you, if you came to me in 1983 and said to me that you need a GPA of 3.0, I would not be one of your students.
No, but
I graduated government high school with a D average.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, while I graduated with a D average, I had a job. I worked at the gas station.
Brother Sonny, I know
prior to this, prior to graduating from school,
yes.
prior to graduating from school, my mom, she did not pressure me into being smart. I did a D in school, but when I came home from school, I had the best bicycle, the best wooden scooter, the best box cart, the best. I was good with my hands. When I would bring home the worst report card,
Brother Sonny,
I would not get punished. But there are my sisters and brothers. My sisters and brothers were required good grades, but good grades wasn't my strength.
No, you cultivate your gift.
So I'm saying to you, I would not make your mentorship program, but that don't make me a bad person.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying to you is this: what I do, I catch them at the age of around 10. This is where my motivation starts. 10, and I often ask, and that's one of my pets. And I tell one that the other day. I said, "What you mean? You mean?" I said, "You bring me this Christmas and beyond a GPA 3 and above, and the rest on me." Man, he break off running. He said, "That's true." I said, "I'm serious as a heart attack. I could sign a contract." And his parent called me and asked me if that is so. I know his father very well. I said, "Yes, I have to live up to my obligations. This is the way I help." But
you're doing a good job.
This has to start at an early age.
Let me tell you.
10 and beyond.
I believe you're doing a good job, and I encourage you. I'll say to you,
yes, sir.
At the age of 10, you said you talk about Christmas gifts. At the age of 10,
yes, sir.
My parents raised 6 children, and every Christmas we would get a new pair of jeans and a red shirt, preferably, and that was our Christmas present that we wore on Christmas Day.
Yes, sir.
This Christmas, at the age of 10, I wanted to go to Junkanoo that night. And I soiled my jeans. So she says to me, "Well, you can't go." So what I did, I went to the pump, towed the water, put the scrub board in the tub on the outside, scrubbed my jeans. I got a Timex watch for my 10th Christmas present. I took off my Timex watch and I rested on the wash stand. Washing my jeans. When I was done washing my jeans, I hang it on the line to dry. Got distracted. My friends called me and I went playing. When I realized my watch wasn't on my hand, I went back to the wash stand. When I got back to the wash stand, my watch was missing. I accused every boy and girl in the neighborhood of stealing my watch. I got in fights for this watch. 1 year later, that same Christmas, my jeans dry, I went to Junkanoo. 1 year later, we got Christmas gifts again. And one of my Christmas gifts was a pair of jeans, a shirt, and the same Timex watch that I got a year before. And you know what my mom did? She found the watch, secured the watch, and she said, "You ain't ready for this watch. So next year, maybe you'll be ready." So you get the same Christmas gift 2 years in a row for being careless.
Okay.
That's the parents that I had. And that's what made me who I am today, thanks to my mother.
Brother Sonny, that is one of the old traditional values that we are now losing. And I would say I have to support my sister, Madam Michelle. I have to support her. The mothers, wake these big, rusty, dusty boys you have in bed sleeping right now today. And when they wake up, they're looking for lunch. Find them out and let them seek someone who can help them to be an alpha male to hunt. And listen to me. It can work, but you cannot cloak these big, rusty, dusty boys, and when they thief you saying they're only a robber. or they was not a thief. Please encourage your boys to become better man or finding someone to mentor them. Have a wonderful day, madam. I think I finished now.
That's shady.
No. That's my good friend who's make me tired every time he calls.
Michelle,
you take all my energy. No, I'm only kidding. We have another call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Caller, you still there? I think we lost someone. The number's to call 3260271.
For the life of me, Michelle,
271. Go ahead.
I'm trying to understand why they're challenging you to raise boys. See, it's not the first.
That's my problem with this conversation.
And men are telling Michelle to raise boys.
This is why me and that caller always just fall out every time he call. Because he quick to blame the thingsy woman. He quick to blame the woman who having all these cheering for all these different men. Like, ain't no sperm was involved in that transaction. Where are the male men? You like to talk about alpha male? Where are they? And why are you not putting the same hell on them what you putting on the woman?
I totally agree. It's everybody's responsibility. If women are not responsible, and if the young men would be, but accept the pressure from a woman to go there and rob for a David Yerman or weave or fingernail,
they could turn that
they're
pressure
sad.
But they could turn that pressure into something positive.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's sad.
We got a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
How you doing, Miss Malcolm?
Good, how are you?
You still doing the thing which you was doing on Friday?
The thing that I was doing Friday. Yeah, but well, listen, y'all know I follow the lead of my audience, right? And this where they leading me today.
That's the answer Cox in there.
Huh?
Yeah,
that's the answer Cox in there.
that's funny.
That's Papa, right?
That's Mr. Cox.
That's Papa, my friend.
Mr. Cox, how you doing?
I'm abundantly blessed, sir. How are you?
Thank God for life, man. You sound like a preacher today.
Man, stop it.
yes, sir. Well, I ain't you saying you on the radio talking. I talk to you in person, and that's
right.
been years.
Yes.
That's been years.
Yes. God is
so
kind.
Thank God for life and everything, man.
Blessings.
Since that's you there, I might as well let the world know. I use a community builder. I ain't going into no details. I just want to tell you thanks for over the years for helping out in the different communities. You know, and you ain't stopped. I hear the business, I hear the things you're doing, and you're still doing good. So let me just congratulate you and tell you, although I haven't spoken with you for many years, I know about the goodness with you and the family and the company. So you keep up the good work and be encouraged, man. So happy to be able to talk to you.
Thank you
Sonny.
very much, man.
Keep up the good work, Sonny. All right, thank you, Ms. Malcolm.
All right, thank you for calling.
Blessings.
All right, we got to take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll see what happens. I ain't making no promises because I ain't following y'all, and y'all lead me in a different direction today. So let's see what happens on the other side of the break. But yes, this is a TGiF Open Line show, and we will have more after these words from our sponsors.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here with one of my sponsors on the show, DeAnza Sonny Cox from Sunshine Auto Sales. Go and check them out. They are on the corner of Soldier Road and Abundant Life Road. And let me tell you, man, when you walk in a shop, you see these fancy, like the little girl says, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires. Definitely go and check Sonny out and support his business because it is in large part the reason why we are on the air, thanks to Sonny and his support. So I always encourage you all to please support my sponsors because without them, there would be no GPS. Much as you all say, oh, Michelle, I love your show. It ain't going to be on there without sponsors. So do what you got to do to put some money behind the show, please. I'd appreciate it very much so we can stay on the air. The telephone number is to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages only, 8010271, 8010271. So we only got about 22 minutes left in the show. So, there's so much.
This is the fastest 2 hours I've spent.
Go fast, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, man, let's go fast. They say time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and thanks for the invitation.
I am so happy you were able to come. All right, so if we spend the last couple of minutes talking about what was happening in the news, if that's where you guys want to go, if not, call in real quick. But one of the big stories today is, I got it, Jason. One of the big stories of the week was this whole trip to Bermuda and who paid for what and when and all these kind of things and confusion between who, if the government paid for the trip or if the PLP paid for the trip, and the PLP put out documentation to say they paid for the trip and people questioning when. Listen, man. This thing, anyhow, let me go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll talk about it. Stay with us and check this out.
Madam Speaker, there is a Bermuda Triangle after all. I thought it was a myth. But clearly it's Office of the Prime Minister, Foreign Affairs, and the Bermudian government. Interesting triangle.
Last night, the Progressive Liberal Party released receipts that purportedly confirmed that their organization reimbursed the public treasury for the Prime Minister's recent trip to Bermuda. Prime Minister Philip Davis, along with a delegation of PLP and government officials, went to Bermuda last week for a political convention via a chartered Western Air flight. Leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, questioned if the law was followed during this procedure.
The public is unclear on several things. One, what was the objective of the trip? Two, who paid for the trip? Okay, so the smoke is clearing a little bit, and we can see a pattern of behavior. The pattern of behavior suggests that the progressive Liberal Party-led government paid for a trip and was reimbursed by its party apparatus. That's just what it appears on the surface. The question is that not a breach of the law? Sorry, let me not ask a question. It is a breach of the law. Who authorized the payment? Who authorized the Ministry of Finance the payment for the trip?
The first Caribbean International Bank check dated October 21st was made out to the public treasury from the Progressive Liberal Party. Prime Minister Davis and his delegation left on October 19th and arrived back in country on October 20th. Last week, Friday, on October 21st, Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latre Raming, stated that the travel costs were covered by the Progressive Liberal Party and any further questions should be directed there. However, he did not disclose that OPM would initially pay for the trip before being reimbursed. Prime Minister Philip Davis has this to say about the situation.
The Office of the Prime Minister, I just happened to hold that office. I happen to hold the office of the Prime Minister. When the Prime Minister travels, he travels as the Prime Minister of the country. Right? And the office of the Prime Minister takes care of the person, the holder of that office, including, if he's traveling, his police aides. Everybody understand that? Okay. And the Prime Minister is traveling, right? And the Office of the Prime Minister pays the bill. The only thing that's left to do is to determine whoever goes with him, there'll be a reckoning.
Davis confirmed that he and PLP members were invited by Bermuda's ruling Progressive Labour Party. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Chairman of the PLP, Fred Mitchell, also released a statement that said it was a standard official visit to another country. The Prime Minister further explained the circumstances around the event.
But you have to understand that we're talking about the office of the Prime Minister. You're talking about Brave Davis. Brave Davis could, in fact, Brave Davis could travel wherever he wishes without the office of the Prime Minister. The day I was leaving, I left instructions with my senior policy advisor, because of the fact that that PLPs were going to be on the flight, to make sure that we will pay for the charter at least, and we make the arrangements. When we get into Bermuda, we will pay for the hotels, and we reckon and reimburse whenever we get all the receipts.
All righty then. So Press Secretary Clint Watson has since come forward and say, those of you who are accusing the OPM or the government of breaking the law, show me where it says in the law that what occurred was in fact a breach of the law. So depending on who you talk to, some are saying that they did break the law and that they just got caught. Others are saying that, no, this is standard procedure. Even though Watson himself said in one of those press briefings, if been asked if this was normal procedure, he said, no, it was unusual. But he's now challenging those who are expressing concerns with coming forward to say which law was broken. This is an interesting case because you heard of the timeline involved in the report. The Prime Minister's office had to book that flight in advance because it was a charter flight. And in advance, they booked a 50-seater plane. So in advance, they had to have known that they would have needed a 50-seater plane because Western Air has many planes in its fleet of all different sizes. So they would have had to have known that they would be needing a 50-seater, unless it's the case that Western Air said to them, this is all we have left available at that time. Right. That's a possibility as well. But based on appearances, it seems like they booked a 50-seater plane charter because they knew they would need that many seats based on the number of people that they knew would be traveling on this trip. So when we have to consider that flight had to be booked before the date of travel, the date of travel being the 19th. And then when asked by the press who paid for the trip, they were told on the 21st it was paid for by the PLP. But according to the documentation that the PLP has provided, if you look at the dates on that, at the time that he said it was paid for, the question is, was it in fact at that time paid for by the PLP, or did the PLP quickly pay the Treasury back after this whole thing blew up? Back in the day, there used to be a song that said, things that make you go, And this is one of those things that make you go, what's really going on here? Did they get caught with their hand in the cookie jar? Or is this just the opposition's way of trying to stir up trouble where there is none? Bertha says, he said Western Air gave them a good deal. Okay. That still don't change the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that, good deal or not, that deal had to be struck before the date of travel. So they had to have known that they would need that many seats because they could have always booked a smaller plane. So what are your thoughts, guys? The numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp line is 8010271, 8010271. Remember now, the WhatsApp line is for text messages only. So don't call, don't send no voice note on the WhatsApp line because we ain't be able to accommodate you. Okay? I think we have a call on the line. No? No? Okay. That's not a caller for the show. What do you think, Sonny? And you could be general. I won't get you no problem. So if you could be as general as you want to be.
I don't follow politics that closely.
Right.
But being a businessman and the dates on the check would concern me. And the beauty in these banks, I don't think they have no master.
What do you mean?
If they had a master, I believe their master could have said to them, I need you to backdate this check to a certain date.
Right.
Or maybe they didn't think that far.
Right.
If I knew I was doing something untoward, I would ask my banker to backdate the check.
Okay.
But Michelle, you and I are not smart enough to even look at the date. We're only supposed to look at the number and the amount.
Okay.
Which a lot of people do. But like I said earlier, I wasn't that smart in school. What I know today is different from what I graduated with. Experience taught me what I know.
Right.
And dates is very important.
I got you.
Michelle.
I got you. You know, when you are serving in the public arena, as a leader of a country or as a politician, I often tell people that perception may not be reality, but for many people, perception is reality.
True.
Especially when it comes to political parties in this country, because political, divisions are very, very serious in this country. We only support you if you are part of our tribe, and if you aren't a part of our tribe, no matter what you do is wrong. And so the thing is, though, that when you are in leadership, you have to be very careful of perception.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
some people, no matter what truth is, will only govern themselves by the perception.
Yeah, whatever they perceive, they is law for some people.
Right. And ain't no straightening them.
No.
So, it don't look too good. To tell you the truth, it looked a little fishy. But who am I? Like you say, we ain't that smart to figure all of that out.
No, man, I never smart.
My Lord, my Lord. But this whole polarization of politics thing, I have to tell you guys a funny story, true story, because we only got 9 minutes left in the show, so we turn our attention to the story. True story. This happened years ago. I was in Grand Bahama. This is just an example of how polarizing politics is in this country. I was in Grand Bahama trying to get back to Nassau, and for whatever reason, Bahamas Air oversold the flight. So if there were 50 seats on the plane, they sell 55. Whatever reason. I don't know how they managed that. I don't know how the system allowed that, but they oversold the flight. And somehow,
late, Michelle. They know some of us can be late.
Well,
the flight is 4:00 and we still on the beach.
But somehow, more people ended up getting on the plane than seats.
Oh, that's
something went wrong. So, you know how we carry on, we carry on. So people started carrying on bad because
we always playing musical chairs.
Right. So people started carrying on bad because, what you mean ain't no seat? I pay for my seat. And then so they started carrying on bad, right?
Musical chairs.
So eventually they took some people off the plane and we started to make our way to Nassau. So this one gentleman was making a bunch of noise saying how this was the PLP fault, that Bahamas Air oversold the flight. So he going on, this is the PLP fault. This is the PLP fault. Because the PLP was in charge at that time. This wasn't going to happen under the F&M. This is the PLP fault. So this woman had her little daughter with her. And she say, how you could blame the PLP because the Bahamas Air agent mess up? What this got to do with PLP and F&M? So the man say, miss, everything will go wrong in life is the PLP fault.
In life?
If I buck my toe, that's the PLP fault. He say, if I catch the flu, that's the PLP fault. So the woman say, man, you being ridiculous. This is a true story now. You being ridiculous. Yeah, how you can try and blame the PLP for this? The Bahamas Air mess up. What this got to do with politics? So the man say, miss, you sound like you was a PLP. So she say, yeah, it's a PLP. It's a big time PLP. So the little girl who she was with chime in, yeah, and it's a small time PLP. Listen, man.
Oh, man.
No one playing catch. PLP, F&M, everybody was hollering.
Big time PLP.
It's a big time PLP. Look and say, yeah, and it's a small time PLP. But I say that to say, this is how we indoctrinate our children, our grandchildren. Listen, if I support this party, I care what you say. I care what you do. Ain't nothing they could do that's wrong. And ain't nothing the opposition could do that's right. That's how we go in this country. Tribalism at the utmost level. And that can't be right.
No, it's not right. It's not right at all. But I kind of understand the gentleman that was arguing, saying it's the PLP's fault. I run my own business, and everything that goes right in the business, I get the credit.
Okay.
So everything that goes wrong in the credit, it's on me.
I hear that.
You know what? Customers would come and say, I ain't coming back to Sonny.
Okay.
At that time, Sonny out of town.
So you got to take responsibility.
Sonny ain't do nothing.
True.
Okay?
Right.
So I kind of understand the gentleman when he said, it's the PLP fault.
Right.
The PLP is the boss.
I hear that.
So everything that goes right under their watch, they get the credit. So everything that goes wrong
They got to take responsibility.
during their tenure, they should take responsibility for.
I hear you. Well, you need to say it a little louder because these politicians, only when things go right, they take any credit. When things go wrong, they start pointing finger elsewhere. We have a caller. Caller, this is the last caller for the show. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle Malcolm. How you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Hey, old Sonny boy.
Blessings, bro. All is good?
All is God, man. Michelle, just be quick, right? I love you like a sister. Hey, man, to tell you I love you. Did he complain about me?
Say what? Say it again?
The haircut to shave, gentleman.
Oh, no, he didn't complain. He didn't complain.
He loves you like a sister. Right. I think he need the man to say, Michelle, I just love you. Michelle, I love you, Michelle.
All right.
Just say it. But Michelle, you enjoy your weekend.
You do the same.
Okay. Goodbye.
Thanks so much for calling. Boy. So yes, Sonny, I hear your point. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, you can't have it. You're in charge. You're the boss. When you're the boss, all the good stuff, you don't get you want to get up and clap hands and do jumping jacks when stuff go right. So when stuff go wrong, you gotta take the blows when the stuff go wrong. So when you're the boss, you don't have a choice in the matter.
I hear
The
that.
PLP is boss, so whatever goes wrong is their fault, and whatever goes right, they get the credit for.
All right. Well, y'all need to address this thing a little bit more, I think, because plenty of people ain't satisfied with the explanation you give PM. I'm sorry to say, but plenty of people are like, yeah, okay. Next. Don't look good. But anyway, point well taken, Sonny. Listen, man, it's been a pleasure having you here. I'm going to give you 1 minute to give us your final goodbyes because we out of time. And I just want to say thank you again for being a part of the show, sitting here on the desk with us at GPS.
I want to say thank you, Michelle, for the invitation, and I know my the TV in my shop is glued on 99.5, and all the computers is on Facebook right now. I want to say thank you all for your love. Thank you all for your support, and thank you all for making me who I am. I want to say to the Sunshine Auto Wildcats, the 4-time champion Sunshine Auto Wildcats, that it's because of you I get these opportunities to sit in places like this and speak with clarity and speak with passion, because you made me a believer, you made me a winner. And like I say to them, I don't throw balls, I don't catch balls, but I'm the biggest fan. Some of the I have a friend say, "You're not a fan, you're a propeller." That's how much I be trying to encourage my team. And to the least of them, we all are very, very important. And I love you to death, Wildcats, and I know you love me. So to my Sunshine Auto sales team, my Wildcats team, my class of 83, GHS class of 83 team, thank you all. And it's y'all who made me who I am.
All right. Thank you so much, Sonny, for being here today. Appreciate your support as always. My time is gone, folks. Got to get out of here. So until next week, Monday, we'll be back on track, hopefully, with our constitutional masterclass with Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, and then I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a safe weekend. Let's love one another. I'll see you guys next week.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions